Hello, my name is Harold Weber, and I'm going to do a poem for our oral communications class at Cal Baptist. And this poem that I'm going to do is titled Grandma's Hands, and it was written by a man by the name of Gil Scott-Heron. He was one of the first real kind of rappers or hip-hop artists or spoken word artists back in the 60s and the 70s. I believe this poem was later redid by a man named Bill Withers as a song. But I wanted to do this poem, Grandma's Hands, as a tribute to my grandmother, Jenny Rebecca Weber, who was born in the rural South in Mississippi back in the 20s. Now, my grandmother and grandfather had 16 kids, and my grandfather got sick before the kids got out of high school. So my grandmother did a lot of the work. I used to see her get up early in the mornings before dawn. She would clean up around the house. She would go and tend to the farm animals. She would do all the girls' hair. But what was real pronounced to me about my grandmother was her hands. They seemed to always be busy doing something. So in honor and as a tribute to her, I want to again recite this poem, Grandma's Hands. Grandma's hands clapped to church on Sunday mornings. Grandma's hands played the tambourine so well. Grandma's hands used to issue out a warning. She'd say, "Scotty, don't you run so fast. You might fall on a piece of glass. There might be snakes there in that grass." Grandma's hands, they keep on calling to me. Grandma's hands soothe the local unwed mother. Grandma's hands used to ache and sometimes they'd swell. Grandma's hands, Lord, they really came in handy. She'd say, "Bobby, don't you whip that boy. What you want to whip him for? He didn't throw no apple core." Grandma's hands, they keep calling to me. Grandma's hands soothe the local unwed mother. Grandma's hands used to ache and sometimes they'd swell. Grandma's hands, well, they really came in handy. She said, "Bobby, don't you whip that boy. What you want to whip him for? He didn't throw no apple core, but I don't have grandma anymore. When I get to heaven, I'll look for grandma's hands." Grandma hands, her hands, your grandmother, my grandmother, they're busy doing something. And this poem just says to us, we ought to do everything that we can to make our grandmother's load lighter because they do so much. And my grandmother did so much. And I appreciate you listening to me. Thank you.